Yes, it's finally summer. What has been some of the favorite things you guys have done, like summer activities so far? Sleep. That's a good one. Pool, anyone? Yeah? Yeah? Very fun. Okay, on that note, we're going to play a summer game. So let's see what our first one is. Maybe, question mark. Has everyone met at our tables? Do we like our tables? Yeah? Because you guys are about to be playing a game with them. So, you guys better do some good teamwork. It's called List Battle Summer Edition. So, these are the rules. As a group, you're going to write down as many things as you can for each category. The table with the most answers wins the round. So I'm going to be walking around, and I'm going to call time, and you'll count, and we'll go from there, and we'll find them. How does that sound? Yeah? No? No one's excited? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Okay, now we can move on. All right, let's see what our first category is. Picnic foods. All right, don't go. Wait. We all have to start at the same time. Okay, you guys ready? Ready, set, go. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. All right. Oh, this is intense. People are really going. Trune, how you doing? Bad? What? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. All right, I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Count them out here. How many of you guys have? All right, we got 7. Holy crap, 9, 10? 10? Anyone have more than 10? Oh my goodness, I told you, Trune. I told you it was going to be your group. How many? Let's see. We have strawberries, blueberries, sandwiches, wine, bread, chips, cake, brownies, hummus, and bananas. That's 9. We have 9. Who else has 9? Okay, let's read it. I know, I canceled that one. They have, sandwiches, watermelon, deviled eggs, cake, fruit, egg salad, potato salad, chips, and cookies. Wow, that got unique. All right, you guys tied. You all get a point. You 2 get a point. Good job. All right, let's see what the next one is. Beach activities. Don't start. Okay, ready, set, go. Who's been to the beach already? Anyone? Oh, really? That's got a nice sunburn. Is that a beach activity? Did I just give one away? I might have gotten one away. All right, 10 more seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. All right, 10 again. 10, 11. Anyone have more than 11? Is this a power group over here? Let's read them. All right, swim, tan, sandcastle, wave diving. I don't know if I've done that. Boogie board, surfing, eating, talk, frisbee, football, baseball. You guys get a point. You taking a walk on the beach and talking? You don't do that? Okay, it's good. You guys won. Sorry, Lillian. Okay, next one. She's going to hate me now. Okay. All right, next one. Things that float. Don't start. Ready, set, go. All right, no one's winning right now. Everyone has 1 point. Trune's group's got a point. Lillian's group's got a point. Mason and Vera got a point. Birds. Sorry. What? Sure. No, I don't know. No, it doesn't. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. All right, 9 again. Anyone have more than 9? 11? 11? Oh no, they're giggling. I don't know how well this is going to go. People, floaty, rafts, paddleboards, surfboards, duck, boat, bird, Crocs, flip-flops, fish. That is true. It's true. Dead fish float. You guys get a point. All right. You guys better pick up the pace. We need someone to have 2 points. Every team right now, it's a little scattered. All right, next one. Things at a park. Ready? Don't go. 3, 2, 1, go. Things at a park. These teams are being pretty epic out here with this List Battle Summer Edition. Very fun, very fun. All right, you guys better go. You got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. 11, 13. Anyone have more than 13? Okay, we're gonna read these out. This one. Kids, parents, things at a park? Yeah. Swing set, sand, slide, tennis court, monkey bars. Dogs, grass, toys, rock, bird, frisbee. Yeah, that's pretty good. This table has 2 points now, right? This is a table to beat. Let's see the next one. Okay, games you can play in your backyard. Don't start. All right, ready, set, go. Go. How you guys doing? In your backyard. Who plays in their backyard anymore? Is that still this one seems like a hard one. You guys are kind of struggling with this. Okay, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. Pens down. I don't know. Okay, all right, let's see it. You got 9? Anyone's got more than 9? You guys have 10? I don't know. Were their pens really down?
Our pen was so down.
Tag, hide and seek, basketball, twister, capture the flag, cornhole, frisbee, kick the can. Who's ever played kick the can? Ping pong, cup pong. What's this? Manhunt. That doesn't count. Who's played manhunt? Oh, everyone's played manhunt, I guess. Okay, this team has 3 points. Who's gonna beat them? I really don't want them to win, so come on. All right, let's see the next one. Things at a camp out. I love camping. Don't start, you two. 3, 2, 1, go. Who's gone camping yet? Anyone? No one's gone camping. I love campfires. Campfires are the best. All right. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. All right, let's see it. 12? Whoa, 15? Okay, you might have to read these. Who wrote them? Because I can't read that.
Okay. S'mores, fire, wood, trees, sing-alongs, songs, tents, guitar, tarp, people, hot dogs, hamburgers, grills, games, and birds.
Did you just say grills? Okay, this team gets a point. Good job. Okay, how many more is on your sheet? 3 more? Okay, you guys have enough to beat this team. What's your team name? Come up with the team name. Okay, next time, let's go. Let's see it. Okay, Summer don't start. Ready? Go. I'm so happy the Summer Olympics are actually starting. We haven't had Olympics in so long. Okay, 10 more seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. 9, you guys have 10? 11, you guys have 11? 12. 12, all right, let's hear it.
S'mores. Wait, wrong one. Rowing, swim, volleyball, soccer, gymnastics, javelin, track, mile, decathlon, triathlon, wrestling, and rifle.
Rifle? Okay, yeah, all right, this team gets another point. Is wrestling in the Summer Olympics? Yeah, all right. Okay, let's see. Who has more than 3 points? They have 3, you guys have 2? You have 3, they're tied. Okay, you guys better come up with team names. All right, let's see the next one. We have 2 more, right? All right, next one. Things you do to cool off. All right, you guys ready for this one? Ready? Go. To cool off. Water games are very fun. All right, 10 more seconds. This one's kind of harder, I feel like, but maybe not. I don't know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. All right, what do we got? 11? Anyone have more than 11? Sophie, do you want to read them?
Shower, bath, pool, beach, lake, water, lemonade, ice cream, fan, AC, lay down, sweat, towel, ice, popsicle, and cold fruit.
Yeah, all right. Point right here. Okay, they take the lead with 4. So is this the last one? We can possibly tie over here, ladies. Okay? No, they're saying no. All right, last one. All right, clothes you wear in summer. You guys ready for this? Don't you be starting. All right, ready? Go. Okay, 10 more seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. I'm kind of scared. This is a little intense. What do we have? We have 9 over here. 9? 9. Everyone has 9. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds, and we're going to see if anyone gets any more, okay? You guys ready? Ready? Go! All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down! How many more did you guys get? 5 more? 13 overall? 14 overall? By 1! Okay, be listening, girls, if you guys want to.
Shorts, swimsuit, bikini, sneakers, sandals, sports bra, crop top, t-shirt, like a cover-up for your swimsuit thing, skirt, skort, they're different, dress, romper, and jumpsuit.
Ooh, I feel like swimsuit and bikinis are. They're a lot different. What are we thinking? I don't know what to do. Should we just give it to them? No? I don't know what to do. No. Okay. We're going to flip over your paper. We're doing a tiebreaker. I'm going to come up. And you're gonna get literally 10 seconds. No more, none less, okay? Summer activity that we love to do. Okay. Favorite foods in the summer. Ready? Go! All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. All right, tiebreaker. Let's see it. The underdogs take the win. Good job, you guys. Good job. The List Battle Summer Edition. Good job. We all thought Sophie's team was going to take it, but good job, guys. You guys want to read them? Okay.
Cookie, popsicle, fruit, burger, ice cream, s'more, smoothie, and then like ices, like the.
I think that's fair. Everyone clap up for the winners. Good job, you guys. Good job. Okay. Okay, everyone stand up for this next game. This is going to be a quick one, maybe. I don't know. So, does everyone know it's Father's Day? Yeah? So, everyone, let's clap for Kyle. What a great dad he is to all of us. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Happy Father's Day. We love you. All right. So, if you guys want, pretend Kyle's your dad for this, or use your own dad, and we're going to play Sit Down If You're Dad edition. Okay? So you're going to sit down if your dad has these things. All right? Let's see the first one. And whoever is last standing wins. Okay, if your dad played football in high school. My dad did not play. All right. That's kind of a lot. Okay, next one. Is your dad balding or bald? Whoa, that took out a lot. Oh, no. Oh, that means all y'all are going to be balding early. Okay, next one. Is an only child. Oh, no, dad's an only child. Okay, next one. Wears a tie to work. He used to wear a tie to work. Yeah, does he even go to work anymore? Okay, next one. Plays golf. Every dad? No, golf is kind of boring. I don't know. All right, next one. Has his own business. Anyone's dad has his own business? That'd be kind of cool. Be like, yeah, my dad owns a business. Like, I could have it if he gave it to me, you know? Okay, next one. Drinks coffee every morning? Who's addicted to coffee? No? Your guys' dad doesn't drink coffee? Okay, that's pretty good. All right, next one. Has the same name as his father. You got some juniors up in here? Yeah? No? All right. Last name? No. Last name does not count. All right, next one. Is the youngest child in his family. You have to be thinking about your aunts and uncles now. Shimani's just like not moving, I feel like. All right, next one. He snores. Oh my gosh. How does your mom feel about that? Not great? Not great? All right, next one. Has a beard or mustache. Oh, wow. No one likes, okay, no facial hair. All right, next one. Has a birthday in June. It's actually my dad's birthday today. Isn't that ironic? Yeah, so, all right, next one. Has coached one of your sports teams. Oof. Yes? Yeah? All right, what sports? Basketball and track? Truman? Oh. All right, next one. Has lived in more than one state. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys kept standing up, so I went with it. Because it's like, no one's really going to win. You know, it's kind of like, you know. It would have gone way too fast if we didn't. Okay, so stand up, back up. Next one. Has an iPhone. I hope everyone sits down to this. Okay, good. No, Android? Oh, yeah, there's that. All right, stand back up. All right, next one. Drives a truck. Yeah, anyone? No one's dad drives a truck? Okay. All right, next one. Has ever embarrassed you? Does anyone have a good story of their dad embarrassing you? Lillian, anyone else? Natalie?
One time we were vacationing in Puerto Rico, and we were driving up to, you had to drive past this little, check-in to get to the beach. And we get there, and he, rolls down the window, and he goes, "Grazie," when they, answered him. And it was so funny because it was just, this isn't even the right thing at all. And we were all just like...
So even was your mom embarrassed? I feel like my mom gets more embarrassed by my dad than me. Is that true or no? Yeah? Yeah, Sophie's... All right, next one. Has dark hair. No, it's like a mix. But most of them are bald. We learned that, right? So, all right, next one. Oh, watches Sports Center daily. I bet do some of you guys watch Sports Center daily? Do you care about sports? No? All right, next one. Has ever texted you LOL? In all caps, too. I feel it. All right, next one. All right, that was a good game. Good job, guys. We love our dads. Yes, we do. All right. So we're going to get some announcements going. So much is happening in the hangar, and it's so exciting. This summer's so fun. So first up, we're going to talk about Camp Grow. Who signed up? Oh, my gosh. Yay. Look at it. It's like half the room. That's awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's our summer mission trip. And we're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. We're going to be at the church, and then we're going to be outside of the church doing great things and coming back and having an awesome night. And it's going to be super fun. So if you aren't signed up, sign up, and you'll get free food. And I'll be there, and it's going to be a blast, okay? So today, we are starting the In the Beginning series, Total Destruction, if you didn't see that. And we're going to be starting with the beginning of the Bible, and it's going to be so awesome. And so be here every week for that. And some of you, if you have not gotten your survival packs and did sign up for that, they are back there with Jackie outside. So get that before we start, because we'll be taking notes, and you guys see the papers in front of you will also help you today as we start. And I'm just so excited for this. It's going to be awesome. God's Word's so cool, okay? So this Friday, Milkshake Friday. Who's excited? Yes, come on. I'm so excited for Milkshake Friday. I've been waiting. And remember the Titans is happening this Friday. Be there. 1 p.m. Milkshake Friday. 8:30, remember the Titans outside. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Also, who saw the Popsicle Shack out there? Yes? No? Maybe so? How about on Instagram? Did you guys see that crazy picture of Kyle? Okay, so after service, come meet me and Rachel out in the Popsicle Shack to find out where we're going to be this week. We're going to be doing a super fun pop-up, and you'll get a free popsicle and some flyers. And so we're going to kind of be doing that every week, where Rachel and I are going to be somewhere doing something fun, giving food, who knows what. It's going to be crazy. So come see that. And 4th of July, finally, we're going to get some fireworks. It's going to be awesome. But we aren't going to be having the hangar that night, because you'll all be doing fun summer stuff that we just talked about in all those games. But Ryan is going to be doing worship in big service at 11:15, so we need to all show out and be at the 11:15 outside service, and we're going to have a student section, and it's going to be super fun. So I hope you guys will all be there. And on that note, I'm going to pray, and we're going to start worship. God, I just thank you so much for this time that we get to come together and really just dig into everything you've wanted to speak for us from the beginning. And so I just pray that our hearts are open to that and ready for that, and our minds. And I pray that we just give it all to you tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Well, welcome to the hangar tonight. How are we doing, guys?
What's up? What's up?
Come up, stand up. We're going to worship tonight. I know y'all know this one. It's been a little while since we've done it, but I want you to put your hands together like this. Here we go. I was lost with a broken heart. You picked me up, now I'm set apart. From the ash I'm born again. Forever safe in the Savior's hands. You are more than my words could say. I'll follow you, Lord, for all my days. Fix my eyes, following your ways. Forever free and unending grace. Here we go! So you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are light in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Of the darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your son down and set me free, and everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom comes.
Let's go.
Oh, you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, you are light in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Nothing is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I. In the valley, I know that you're with me. And surely your goodness and your mercy follow me. So my weapons are praise and thanksgiving. This is how I fight my battles. You lead me, and I believe you overcome it. I will lift my song of praise for what you've done. This is how I fight my battles. 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 Oh, this is It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. Yes, Jesus. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. Oh, this is how I. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. Yes, Jesus. This is how I fight my battles. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. Yes, Jesus. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. Yes, Jesus, that's our prayer tonight. That we be reminded that you surround us in the darkest of our storms. No matter what we're going through, God, you are here at the center of it all. You laid down your life for us. God, you are our rock, our foundation. Lord, we know you fight our battles for us and that we're never alone. We can always lean take care of our messiness and all of our baggage, Lord. We know that we can give those things up to you, and you can take them all. God, we thank you for this time tonight to be able to worship you together in this amazing place and be able to worship together as a body of Christ. God, we are so thankful for that. And we love you. And it's in your name that we pray all these things together. And everyone said, amen. You guys can have a seat.
So, Sierra, before you get away, I might cry. So, tonight is Sierra's last night with us. Some things you may not know about Sierra, but Sierra is one of the longest serving volunteers we've ever had in the hangar. And what's unique about her service is that she started it when she was in high school, okay? Way back in the day, when she was one of you, a student here, she started coming to the hangar and then started participating in worship with Chris Kim and leading worship all those years. For many, many years with Chris. And then after that became our dedicated junior high worship leader when we were in the hub downstairs, and also with Chris. And then led all the way when she was in college and then got married and has continued to lead all this time, all these years. And not that old, but yeah, not nearly as old as some people up here. But first of all, I just wanted to two things. One, I just want to thank you for all those years of leading us in worship and serving in this place and being my friend. Sierra and I laugh a lot, tease each other a lot. It's lots of fun. I love it. Thank you for that, and also just. I just want to thank you for not only being, not only leading worship, but also she served as a small group leader and poured back into some students over the years. So Sierra has been all in 100% for all of these years, and so very, very grateful for all that you've done and all you've been to make us who we are. So I just want you to know that. It means a lot to me, and it also means tons to me that that you continue to serve after being a student here. I always love it when our students come back and help us out and serve. And so that's what I wanted to say. I know Jess has a few things that she wants to say, and then I have a couple things we want to give you. So I want to let you.
Am I on? Yeah, okay, good. Here's something else you might not know. Both Kyle and I were in Sierra and Josh's wedding. I was one of her bridesmaids in her wedding. Kyle was one of Josh's groomsmen. And Sierra was in my small group. I was her small group leader when she was in high school. I was there the moment that she and Josh met. I was sitting there talking to her mom when she and Josh met that very first day. So we have a lot of history. And what I have seen you do over the last few years is choose to stay in and choose to sometimes persevere when it would have been a lot easier to give up. I've seen you choose to lean in and to grow in an area. I've seen you choose to find the most gracious way to have a hard conversation. I've seen you choose to love people who are hard to love. And I've seen you choose to just continuously seek to let the Holy Spirit lead you and guide you in your life. And so I know that the decision to maybe take a step back from this wasn't one that you chose lightly. And so we are just so grateful for the many years of persevering and of loving and of having the hard conversations and of letting the Holy Spirit lead you both on this platform and in rooms all over this building and in quiet conversations and into a microphone over and over and over again. So we are a better ministry in the hangar because you walked in the door all those years ago. So we love you so much. Can I hug you? Is that okay? We have a couple of things for you.
Just a couple things for you. First of all, these are always the best. Jackie is amazing in making things for people. She does all of our senior scrapbooks. But this is a little framed picture for you of some of your small group years, different moments of your time with this. So this is from Jackie. She made that for you. It's got pictures of you in small group, pictures of you leading worship, and all kinds of things over the years. It's very nice. And then this, over the years, there have been, for me at least, there have been certain songs that I just associated with you. I know they weren't like your songs, you didn't write them or create them, but I'm always like, oh, that's a Sierra song, right? And so I tried really hard to go through those songs of the past and found this. We wanted to give this to you. This is.
Kyle put this together, by the way. This is a love offering from Kyle.
This is 6 songs that when I think of you, I thought of these songs. God's Great Dance Floor, just because that was mandatory for the hangar. You Say, which I loved when you sang. Oceans, of course, was one of our blasts from the past. The Stand was a big one. The Desert Song was maybe the one that stands out in my head the most. I can't really hear that song without hearing you sing it. And then finally, 10,000 Reasons. And so this is the sheet music from all of those songs, along with all of the comments that students left you behind a couple of weeks ago as we had them write some nice notes to you. So they're all around there. Hope you will be able to read through that and see how much you're appreciated and, I don't know, hang this up in your office or put it in your garage behind all the recyclables, or I don't know. You might like, that's terrible. I don't want that. So, but this is for you as well. It's kind of heavy and clunky, but you might have to get Josh to carry that for you. But yeah, But Sarah, thank you so much. Will you guys show Sierra your appreciation tonight? We're so grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Okay. You guys ready for this? This is quite the journey that we are embarking on here over the course of the summer. Hey, before, we're just like in this season of like saying goodbye to folks and introducing you to new folks. And so we have one more person that we want you to meet because you're going to be seeing a lot of her over the course of the summer. Rachel is right down here. This is Rachel. She is we have 2 summer interns this summer. You have met Ellie. She's been around for a few weeks. Rachel is getting started with us. She just started this past week. So, Rachel, tell us how we know you.
Okay, so I started coming here. I do Young Life at my school. I just graduated Fairfax, and so I knew a few kids. And so the end of my sophomore year, so I started coming here. Some of you guys might recognize me. I didn't go a lot sometimes because honestly, it's a lot when I didn't know a lot of people. So, but I kept coming, and Jess was my small group leader, and Sophie was in my small group, and I was like, hey, I just want to do some ministry work, and I ended up here.
Yeah. So, to the best of your ability, can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing this summer, where students might find you, when they might be interacting with you?
Yeah, so I'll be here every Sunday with Ellie. She'll be my little buddy over the summer. If you see me, you'll probably see her. We'll be in the Popsicle Shack, after service, before service. I'll be here either 9 or 11 in the morning on Sundays. So if you see me, you can always sit with me. And anytime during the week, if you guys want to come to our pop-ups, you'll find out that later. And you guys can always reach out. I'm free to hang out with you guys. And I'm excited to get to know you guys more.
And you graduated from high school a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I just graduated Fairfax.
From Fairfax High School. Yeah. So everybody say hi, Rachel. Okay, great. Thank you. You can thank you for those. Yes, thank you. Okay, so here we go. A bunch of you are signed up to read this with us, and I want to tell you that it is not too late for you to do that. We are going to read from Genesis to Esther, to the end of Esther, over the next 10 weeks, the whole thing. And we have these kind of swag bag survival pack things that we have put together for you to help make that possible. It includes a journal. It includes one-page kind of layouts of what is in each book of the Bible. It includes we're going to do a group chat. We'll have a nightly check-in and a group chat to help maybe answer questions, to help get, hold one another accountable. And we are going to have a weekly giveaway as part of that. So there'll be something that we're going to be giving to the folks that are doing that every week that will be part of it. So if you're not signed up, it's not too late to sign up. You can still get in on the action. We have a few extra bags tonight that you can grab. And if for some reason we run out of bags, then we will get you one in the next day or two. And it's going to be we're talking about 45-ish minutes of reading every day, which maybe sounds like a lot. Some of you, maybe 45 minutes of reading is just not a doable reality. You, for whatever reason, you do not have 45 minutes, or reading is challenging for you for whatever reason, or maybe just sitting down to read is hard for you. We also have, it's not hours, but we can help you get on to an app that will read it to you. So you can go that option as well. So if for you, you're gosh, the thing that's holding me back from doing this is that I don't think I can sit down with a Bible and just read the words on the page. That, for whatever reason, is overwhelming for me, or is just not a reality for me, then maybe you would be more interested, or it feels more accessible to you if you could listen to it. If you could listen to it in the morning while you're getting dressed, or if you could listen to it maybe on a walk every day, or something like that. And so, or maybe while you're doing the dishes after dinner, whatever. Maybe there is some other ways for you to fit that in. And so if that's an option, then there's an app that's called the Bible app, and it makes it really easy for you to let it listen. You choose one of the translations of the Bible that has a reading along with it, and the New Living Translation, which is the Bible that we use here in the hangar most of the time, is one of those options that has an audio component, and you can just press play, and it'll just read the whole thing to you in a dramatized reading. So it's not super boring reading the phone book reading. So if that's something that is appealing to you, but if you are really not sure how to do that, then come talk to us and we're happy to help. Plus I'm going to throw a story up on Instagram this week to kind of show people. It'll kind of show people and walk through with them how to get involved with that. So not too late. We would love for you to join us. So we are starting tonight in the beginning, in Genesis. Genesis is composed of some different source material. In fact, if you have that green paper right there, then you can take some notes on the back of that green paper that says Genesis at the top. But first, turn it over to the pre-printed side, and I want you to take a pen, and right there in the middle of the page under that blue dot that says Author Moses, I just want you to put a big X through it, okay? Just put an X through that. Because Moses didn't write Genesis. Moses more than likely did not read or write. There certainly was not any written language when Moses was alive, and that's kind of a legend that's probably not accurate. And we won't even get into why some people claim that Moses wrote it, but Moses didn't write it. The author of Genesis is unknown. More than likely, and it's pretty clear as you read it, you're going to get a sense of this, that this is source material that's pulled from different authors over the years. It was an oral tradition that was passed around from one generation of people to the next until 1400 BC, when it was finally started to be put together in kind of a more written format. But for a long time, this is material there were stories that people would think about sitting around campfires and telling the story of your people. These are the stories that they would tell. And you can get a sense that it's maybe from different sources, from different places. For example, and pretty quickly, tomorrow, if you're reading along with us, you're going to realize that we have two different versions of the creation story. There's the version that probably most of you are familiar with, in the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, and the earth was formless and void, and the Spirit hovered over the waters or whatever. And then there's the God created this and it was good, and God created that and it was good, right? There's that. That's called the creation poem at the beginning of Genesis. But then right after that, there's a second account of Genesis that tells the entire thing. And if you're a careful reader, then the order of what God creates is different. The way God goes about creating things is different. The two different Genesis accounts are very different. And part of the reason for that is because they come from two different sources. One of them was written much later than the other one. And so in our Bible, the reason why that's okay for those two things to sit side by side is because the people who were putting together the story of Genesis weren't so concerned with historical accuracy as they were with telling the stories of their people. So we have these different source material, and we're going to see this a lot as we go through the summer. We have, there's different source, some of it's called the priestly material, some of it is called the judicial material. There's different material that's pulled together, and so you're going to see that as you go. Here's what I need you to know at the outset of this journey. The people who are responsible for giving us these stories, they lived thousands of years ago on the other side of the globe, in a completely different culture that would be so foreign to us in so many ways. They had a different philosophy of life. They had different priorities for the way that they would live. The things that were important to them in passing along their story are not the same things that would have been important to us. The idea of historical accuracy, that we would tell something and want to be as accurate, like down to the minute as we can about exactly what happened, is a fairly modern priority. That's not something that the people who were responsible for passing down the stories of Genesis, that's not something they would have been super concerned about. What they were concerned about, what their priorities were a little bit different. They had a different worldview. Their understandings about what these texts were intended to be were different. Their goal was not to give us a complete history of everything that happened, nor was it to give us a science textbook or even an answer book to every religious question that we might ever have. We find a lot of those elements in our text. If we look at the text, we can find historical stories. We can find answers to science, things that pop up in there. But that wasn't the intended purpose on behalf of the writers for us to have those things. That's not what is intended to be. To the extent that it was written, that's not what it was written for. It was written to tell the story of God from the perspective of the people of God. It was intended to show that their God was the best God around in a world full of false gods, because that's who these Jewish people were. What made them unique from the jump was that they believed that there was one God. God is one. And they lived in a world full of cultures who believed in many gods. And so from the beginning, the thing that made them unique was that they believed in one God, the one true God, that theirs was, that they had this monogamous relationship with the one true God. And so their story is to show that God has their backs, to show the faithfulness of God. They are bearing witness to how God has acted on their behalf. And so it's important that we read the Bible through that lens, asking ourselves the question, what is this text trying to tell me about who God is and about what God has done? So today we're going to look at Genesis. And Genesis is the story of the establishment of a people. It's the beginning of the story of how the people of God came to be. The idea that from nothing, the Latin theological term that we talk about is ex nihilo, from nothing, there was something. That there was nothing in the beginning. When God created the heavens and the earth, there was nothing. And out of that void, there became something. And that's this pattern, this rhythm that we see over and over again in Genesis. And this story is told by moving us from one story about this family to the next, from one generation to the next generation. That the story of God's people is the story of individual people who become families, and they screw everything up, and then they start it all over again. And they get a few things right, and they get a lot wrong. And we're going to take as honest a look as we possibly can over the summer about what those stories are, and try to think about what is God, always with this lens of what is God, what is this story trying to teach me about who God is, and about what God's purposes are in the world. And nowhere is this more prevalent than in the book of Genesis. We call these first stories the stories that you are probably really familiar with. A lot of them probably showed up in your earliest children's Bibles if you had such a thing growing up. We call these stories the first stories. And so somebody tell me, what's the very first one you think of when you think about Genesis? What's the first one in the Bible? Yeah. Creation of the world. And out of that creation comes two people who are Adam and Eve. And from Adam and Eve, then we have two more. Who are the sons of Adam and Eve? Anybody remember? Cain and Abel. And then after Cain and Abel happens, and we have, we forgot about the expulsion from the garden. We have the fall. That happens in there. We have Cain and Abel. And then after Cain and Abel, does anybody know what the next big story is that happens in the Bible? It was probably your favorite as a 3-year-old. What? Not quite. We've got one more before them. Noah and the great flood, that one happens. We also have, you may remember, the Tower of Babel, the fortified city of Babel. Remember that one? And then we have the dispersed nations that go out from that. The idea is that God built, or that the people, they come out of the flood and they decide, let's build like as tall a tower as we possibly can. Maybe build a tower all the way to God. And God comes down and God is like, what are you doing? And he's like, okay, go. This is not what I told you to do. And so he gives them all these different languages and they scatter. And so we have the first dispersed nations. And then we have Abraham, not quite Abraham yet, right? At that point, right? He's Abram, and we have the story of Abram and actually Lot before Sarai becomes a part of the story. What is happening in all of these incidents is that the storyteller is telling a genealogical story. How many of you have ever tried to read the Bible, maybe from Genesis, and you get like to the first, like, so-and-so begat so-and-so, and you're like, oh gosh, really? Like, how, anybody stop at that point where you like give up? Like the begats, and you're like, okay, I'm out. So that's totally understandable. But here's the thing, and we're going to spend a little time today because genealogies, if you're going to do this journey with us this summer, genealogies make up a big part of what we're going to read. The so-and-so begat so-and-so is, you're going to spend a lot of time reading about so-and-so begat so-and-so. What is happening in all of these incidents and all from these first stories from Adam and Eve all the way to Abram and Lot, what is happening here is a genealogical story. The story of the ancestors of one generation to the next. And each story starts with a question. Who's going to make the genealogy? Who will be the heir? And so every time you have two named ancestors, you have to tell a story. Which one of them is going to be the one who makes it into the genealogy? Who will be the executor of the estate? Who's going to demonstrate that they can carry the load of being God's promised people? So just think about from our very first example, back to Adam and Eve, and if you were to go back and look at it in Genesis, it talks about how Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. Who remembers what happens to Cain and Abel? Yeah, Cain kills his brother Abel. So Cain can't be the heir. He can't carry on the blessing because he's a murderer, and Abel can't do it because he's dead. So we need another son to come in. And so we have the birth of Seth. Seth's name means permanent, and Seth becomes the heir who makes it into the genealogy. Seth becomes the one through which God's story is going to continue on. And so now an entire people is being established from Seth to Japheth. We see that there in Genesis. Then Noah has 3 sons. His sons are Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And now we need to tell a story to determine who will be the heir. And that's when we get to Noah and the story of the great flood. So these genealogies are so important. I don't know, were any of you here a few weeks ago when I preached on the prodigal son? You guys remember that? And do you remember how I told you, maybe not, because this was like such a minor detail of that whole message, so it's okay if you don't remember. But I talked to you then about how Jesus says there was a man who had 2 sons. And I talked about how this, if you're a Jewish listener, then that is immediately going to hearken you back to all of the first stories of Genesis, all of these stories and these genealogies where you get to, and so had multiple sons. And the question is, who's going to be worthy of carrying on the promise of God's blessing? And so we talked about the younger son and the older son and some of the different, and the ways that was like confounding the Pharisees' understandings of who was who. And so that's, I want you to remember that as we kind of go in. This idea of genealogy is so important. I want to look at one in Genesis chapter 11, and we're just going to read it so that you can get a sense of like what it is, what kind of information is being communicated in these genealogies. So Genesis chapter 11, starting in verse 24. When Nahor was 29 years old, he became the father of Terah. After Terah was born, Nahor lived 119 years. He had other sons and daughters. When Terah was 70 years old, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. These are Terah's descendants. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran became the father of Lot. Haran died while with his father Terah in his native land, in Ur of the Chaldeans. Abram and Nahor both married. Abram's wife was Sarai, and Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcah and Iscah. Sarai was unable to have children. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his son Abram's wife, Sarai, his daughter-in-law. They left Ur of the Chaldeans for the land of Canaan, and arriving in Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. Okay, super clear, right? But once you dig in, there's a lot of information that is being communicated with these few verses of like so-and-so begat so-and-so and lived 634 years, okay? Like there's a lot that's going on in here. So Terah dies, but Terah has how many sons? Count them. 3. He has 3 sons. And one of those sons, you have Abram, and then you have you have Nahor, and you have Haran. Haran has a son, Lot. So there you go. You have a really nice genealogy right there. You have Terah, who has Haran, who has Lot. And we should be good to go, except there's a problem. Is that who the genealogy passes through? We know that's not who the genealogy passes through. Abram is the one that the genealogy is going to pass through, but Abram is married to Sarai, and Sarai was unable to have children. So we're going to spend now in chapter 11 through chapter 25 trying to figure out who's going to be the heir to Terah. One of the hallmarks of the story of God is that it is never as simple as the oldest son gets the prize. As you read through the book of Genesis this week, you're going to see over and over again, and not just in Genesis, but really through the story of God all the way. You'll see this with David. You'll see this with Jesus. You'll see this even in the way that Jesus preaches, that the story of God is never as simple as the oldest one gets the prize. The oldest one is the winner. That's never what it's about. In the story of God, the heir is the one who can carry the burden of God's promise. The heir is the one whose behavior demonstrates their worthiness, not their birth order. It's not about perfection. Hear me when I say this. God doesn't choose to use somebody because their behavior is perfect. But there's always some loose ends that need to be tied up in the story, that the storyteller is trying to communicate why this person gets disqualified, but this person is qualified. And you see that work itself out in the story. And one of the things that I think the story is trying to teach us is that God doesn't just use the obvious choice, that God often, if not most of the time, uses the not obvious choice to be the one through whom God works and makes God's promises come to pass. So, in the story of God, the heir is the one who can carry the burden of God's promise. It's not perfection, but it's always something that makes one worthy and the other not worthy. After all, these are stories of humans. And sometimes we as humans, we rise to the occasion, and sometimes we fail miserably. Our work is crucial, but our work is not decisive. The failure of one generation cannot cancel God's work in the world, and we see that when we look at the genealogy. So there's these 2 lines throughout the story of Genesis. There's these 2 different storylines. There's the one storyline that is the individual stories of individuals who succeed or fail, who carry on the story or who don't. And so there's these open and closed stories that exist within the story, within the book of Genesis. But then there is also this second line, this line of the staccato drumbeat of God's faithfulness that's through the genealogy, the staccato drumbeat of God's blessing. A blessing that is always carried through the birth of a child. After all, there have to be births in order for there to be heirs. And it's not a culture that can dictate reproduction, right? So there's an urgency to the genealogical progression. So I know that the genealogy is boring, but I would submit that that is where the real story is. It's hard to maintain a family line that's more than a few generations because of infant mortality. Women die in childbirth at really high rates. Children don't make it past infancy at really high rates. And so the very fact that we have generation after generation of people who pass along, the fact that we have heirs is a demonstration of God's faithfulness, the drumbeat of God producing generation after generation. It's a beautiful drumbeat to follow if you choose to tune your ear to listen to it. And here's the thing. That's still true today. I've had 2 births. I had a very predictable, very normal, routine cesarean section with my daughter Ella. This is Ella. She's the one in the purple blanket. Maybe. No, you didn't get the pictures. Okay. Is Annalise up there? Do you have Annalise? Neither of them. Okay, never mind. I was going to show you pictures of the girls when they were born, but that's okay. So I had one very predictable, very standard C-section with Ella. Nothing exciting about it other than the fact that a new life came into the world, and it was the first time I had done that. And the fact that a cesarean section means that they literally cut open my stomach to remove the baby from me, which is not, like an easy or fun surgery to have. So that was the case with Ella, and she is a delight, and she was my first, and so with so many things, Ella's appearance in the world and in our lives was life-changing. Hey, there she is, right there. There's Ella. And then, just about 3 years later, this is Annalise. Just about 3 years later, this one came into the world. And from the moment, just about, that we found out we were pregnant with Annalise, it was a completely different story. We had one, minor complication after another with Annalise. Doctors were monitoring so many different things throughout my pregnancy with her. Plus, I found out I was pregnant right at the end of February, and what happened in March of 2020? So I spent my entire pregnancy and Annalise's birth in COVID, and so that brought its own complications as well. But here's the thing that happened. So I was, I don't think I've told you guys this story, at my 38-week appointment. So we had, some of you may remember, we did a Duck Donuts pop-up at Fairfax Corner on Wednesday afternoon, and on Thursday, that was my last day of work before I was going to take 2 weeks off because it had been a hard pregnancy and I was exhausted and I needed a little space to finish getting some things ready. And on Thursday afternoon, I went to my 38-week appointment, and my doctor went to kind of check the baby's heartbeat, only to discover that the baby's heart rate had dropped dangerously low. Like Annalise's heart rate was down in the 90s, and a regular in utero heartbeat is around 140, 150. So 90 is really serious, and she was really concerned. So they put me on this machine to monitor, and long story short, 20 minutes later, I was in an ambulance on my way to the hospital so that I could give birth to Annalise that night. Again, it was a C-section because I was not in labor. So, and I'd had one C-section already, and so the decision was to do a second C-section. And so that was all very predictable and went fine, but they got Annalise out, and then they didn't bring her over to me right away like they did with Ella. I'd had one of these already, right? A very predictable one, and so I knew what was supposed to happen, and none of the things that were supposed to happen after Annalise was born happened. And so, So Kevin kept trying to reassure me that it was fine. There was just a few things they were checking, but it kept going longer and longer. And now they're getting me stitched up, and she's still over there on the table. And pretty soon it becomes, I come to find out that she's not breathing on her own, that they're having to give her quite a bit of supplemental oxygen, and they're having to put a machine on her lungs in order to get her lungs to beat because she couldn't breathe. Her lungs just weren't breathing on their own. There was a lot of extra fluid in them, and I don't even know all the things. So she had to go to the NICU, where she had to get started on some antibiotics, and this was COVID, so there was all this extra chaos around that, and so she didn't come to the recovery room with me. She didn't go to my postpartum room with me. She went to the NICU, and probably some of you, this was the story of your birth as well, because this happens sometimes, where babies go to the NICU. That doesn't make it any less scary for the parents who are doing this. So, fast forward, Annalise is fine. Annalise was fine. And now, if you've ever been in the room with Annalise for very long, in fact, all of you having been in the room with her tonight, maybe heard her screaming, right? She's a shrieker. She just screams her head off, sometimes with joy. Sometimes she shrieks and screams because she's so happy that something is happening. But she also shrieks and screams when she's hungry. She screams and shrieks when she's tired. The second, if she's tired and I go and I put her on the changing table so I can put her in her, you put babies a lot of times in these wearable blanket things when they're napping for various reasons. And so the moment she goes down on the changing table and I start getting her in the wearable blanket, she goes, ah! She just screams until I've got her all zipped up and pick her back up again. And here's the thing. I don't enjoy the screaming. The screaming causes my blood pressure to rise a little bit. I get kind of triggered by the screaming. It drives me a little bit crazy. But every time my daughter screams bloody murder, she's only able to do that because her lungs work, because she does have enough oxygen in them now, because she doesn't need a machine to breathe anymore, because the fluid has all been pushed out. So the thing that threatened her life when she was born is no longer a threat anymore because of God's faithfulness to her. And now I get a daily reminder of God's faithfulness through the way that she screams bloody murder at just about anything, good or bad. God's faithfulness is often demonstrated in the things that we take for granted. God's faithfulness is demonstrated in things like the screaming of a baby, that means that her lungs are working the way they're supposed to. God's faithfulness is demonstrated through the very fact that we are sitting here in this room today after a season of not being able to do it in this way. For the first time tonight, we're able to be around tables, not being spread out all the way across the room, which means that COVID is no longer such a threat that we have to be worried about that. I'm not saying it's not a threat at all, but that here in the state of Virginia, that we have managed to make a lot of progress on that. Next week, not next week, a couple more weeks, God's faithfulness is demonstrated in things like being able to have a mosh pit again in July. Yes, I said it. In fact, Pastor Rod has asked if we would please come to the July 4th service so that there could be a mosh pit at the July 4th service, because Ryan is going to lead that morning. So mark your calendars. We're going to have a student section down front at 11:15, and then after that, July 11th in here, we're back, right? God's faithfulness. God's faithfulness is demonstrated in things like the clothes in my closet and the food in my kitchen and the house that I live in. In the things that we take for granted, God's faithfulness is demonstrated. But here's the other thing that demonstrates God's faithfulness. You are a demonstration of God's faithfulness. The very fact that you are alive in this world, your existence, is a demonstration of God's faithfulness in one way or another. I don't know the circumstances of your birth. I don't know if the woman who gave birth to you is around in your life to be able to tell you about it. But the very reality of you sitting in this room means that you are an expression of God's faithfulness to somebody. And here's what I would encourage you to do. If you are able to do so, ask the woman who birthed you about the story of your birth. Because more than likely, whether you are her first birth or her 10th birth, more than likely you, in some way, were life-changing. Not more than likely. I promise you that you, in some way, your entrance into this world, the very fact that you exist, changed her life in some way. Ask about that day. Ask her what she learned about God from birthing you. I could spend a long time telling you about what I learned about God through both my very predictable and my very unpredictable childbirth. Ask about whether you were her firstborn or her 10th, your birth was a life-changing experience. It was a defining moment in her life. You are a demonstration of God's faithfulness. I think sometimes we forget that. I know sometimes you guys forget that you are an expression of God's faithfulness, that it becomes hard for us to remember how much we matter to this story, but your very existence in the world means that God has been faithful to someone, even if it's just to you. And your very existence in this world means that the drumbeat of God's blessing, the staccato drumbeat that started with Adam and Eve to Seth, goes all the way down to each one of you, that you are a part of the story of God, of God's goodness, of God's blessing being made manifest. And so this week, as you read Genesis, I want to challenge you to have eyes to see how God might be in the midst of being faithful to you, of blessing you, of the ordinary, everyday things that maybe you're taking for granted, things that maybe you don't even realize are God's blessing. But as you read Genesis this week, maybe it will give you eyes to see some new ways that God is in the midst of being faithful even to you now. I'm going to pray for you, and then we have a quick little video so you can see what's coming next week in this story.